going on, guys? It's your boy Matt St. Jack. Whether you're an avid anime fan, a wee tadpole still finding your way, or anywhere in between, I'll be providing my opinions and insights on anime old and new. Think Yelp with help from friends and producers from other shows weighing in. I know you can't wait to hear, and I can't wait to tell, so let's get to it. This is Matt St. Jack with Anime Talk. Let's go.
I'm Bo Maddox.
I'm Robert Ortegon.
I'm Ashley Chancellor.
And this is the season finale of Collateral Cinema. Welcome to the season finale of Collateral Cinema, the only movie podcast that matters, where we focus on good movies, bad movies, and everything else in between in the world of cinema. We are podcasting straight from somewhere in South Texas. And yes, my friends, we are a 420 friendly podcast. So whatever you have, be it dabs, blunts, bongs, or joints, smoke it if you've got it, my friends. And Robert is currently preparing our smokage for the evening, right?
Oh, hell yeah.
Fucking A, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's season finale, guys. What do you think?
The season finale of Smallville.
Yeah, right? It's been an interesting season. I mean, we talked about some interesting movies this time around. I mean, for one, like, in the Indiana Jones trilogy, that was fun.
Fuck yeah.
Continuing our exploration of the Rocky franchise with Derek and everything. That was fun. And unfortunately, we have a lost episode this season we're going to have to do again. Because nothing good ever happens to us here on Collateral Cinema, I guess.
No, nothing.
No. Yeah, the Naruto episode, that's going to have to be redone. Sorry, everybody.
Oh, the Dragon Ball Z episode? Okay. Yeah.
It's Naruto. Naruto.
I was confused. Yeah.
How is it so difficult to get your anime right, Robert?
I don't know.
Robert, Ash, how does that make you feel?
You see, Robert, Naruto is about ninja. Okay, Dragon Ball Z isn't about ninja. Dragon Ball Z is about just big bulky dudes. Naruto's nothing like that. It's about ninjas. I mean, it's a totally different thing.
They're all Super Saiyan Gohans, you know?
There is no
Super Saiyan 2 Gohans running around.
There is no Super Saiyan. They're ninjas, bro. They're throwing shuriken and shit, you know? I mean, yeah.
I thought one of them was Saiyan Man the other day, you know?
It does get a little...
Great Saiyan Man.
it does get a little flashier as the series goes on. I'll give you that. But I don't know. It was never like Dragon Ball Z. It wasn't like Naruto was screaming for like 5 episodes, charging up one attack.
No, they just have Sakura just stay on the sidelines for 10 episodes while Naruto and Sasuke get their asses whooped. That's what happens. The end.
Not even that, but...
that's what I say it is, Ash. But anyway, yeah, this season has been interesting, and we're looking forward to next season. I mean, we'll talk about that after we finish with this particular movie. And this movie is unfortunately something that we were going to have the Spy Hards join us for, but they had other things come up, so unfortunately we couldn't get them on here, and which is a hell of a stickler because this movie is actually a spy espionage movie.
Yeah, right up their alley, right? I mean,
yeah, it's right in their bailiwick, so yeah, sorry guys.
And it's always nice to be on with another podcast too. You know?
It really is, man. It's always nice to have people on here, and we've had some cool guests here. We had Stu from Stu World Order, Derek from Ratchet Book Club, and everything. We had Of course, Cinema Recall. Vern was on here, and on the Naruto episode, we had Matt St. Jack, who is in the promo that you heard at the beginning of this episode.
Dads from the Crypt are cool too.
Yeah, Dads from the Crypt as well. They're awesome. You know, they helped us out with the 420 episode.
I like doing episodes.
And
with
also,
them.
you know, the podcast that wouldn't die. That was also fun.
Yeah.
I mean, are we forgetting anybody?
Hope we're not forgetting anyone.
I don't think so. I hope not. Oh yeah. Frank from Geek Freaks joined us for the Neil Breen episode.
Josh too. Josh comes on.
And also Josh. Well, yeah, that's our annual thing. I mean, of course, Josh from Abyss Gazing and Victims Villains, and also his co-host joined us for that was Eyes Wide Shut.
There you go. So hope we didn't leave anybody out there.
Yeah. So thank you to all of those podcasts that joined us. Hopefully we'll have many of them come back next season.
Oh yeah.
But this movie is actually really, really cool because it works on a lot of levels for us here.
Man, this movie made me fucking cry. I'm just gonna go out and say it because
it's a sweet movie. Very sweet, adorable
as a parent,
movie.
Especially, like, you know, it got to me. It's been years since I've seen this. I watched this as a kid years ago.
Yeah,
didn't remember a whole lot of it.
Great San Antonio movie. Yeah.
It takes place in San Antonio. That's so cool. I know. I was like,
yeah, we're going to talk about a little bit of the old San Antonio nostalgia here, and of course we're talking about Cloak and Dagger. This came out in 1981, right?
82 or 83. I know it's right after E.T.
So it's like my birth year, right?
Yeah.
82.
82, 83.
Hey, what do you know? 1982, y'all.
I think it's got a year date of 83 or something on it. But.
Yeah. Hold on, we're verifying this real quick.
1984 Universal Studios.
84. Okay, so that's actually closer to my sister's birthday.
Wow.
All right.
So it's right after E.T.
All right. Yeah, and Cloak and Dagger, which is quite possibly one of the more unique movies that we've done on this podcast, you know, because it works as a family film, works as a video game movie.
Yeah.
And it's also works as a old school spy espionage movie. And of course, it takes place in San Antonio, Texas, which is actually pretty much our hometown. We all lived outside of San Antonio.
About 45 minutes away.
Yeah.
well, speak for yourself. I grew up mostly in San Antonio. I didn't come out.
Yeah, you grew up in San Antonio. Yeah.
Yeah.
I left when I was 5.
I came out to Lake Hills and you know, met y'all by the time I was a senior. So I spent most of my life before then. So this movie's very, very nostalgic for me. Just kind of like watching the scenery and whatnot, because it's like, yeah. It's funny because none of us are in San Antonio now. I'm in Houston, and you guys are the closest to San Antonio at the moment.
Yeah, we're the closest from San Antonio. Yeah, we can make it to San Antonio in like 20 or 30 minutes from here. So.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you're in the San Antonio area, but yeah, it's kind of funny that none of us are in the city proper at the moment. But it's still, I know for all of us, I mean, we've seen that architecture our entire lives, our childhood.
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you. Yeah. Last time I was in downtown San Antonio was when Morbid Angel came to the White Rabbit. So we went to the White Rabbit. It's one of the. It's now the Paper Tiger. For those who are not in the know, that's the local big rock club of the time. You know, that was where all the rock and metal bands and punk bands and rap bands went to have their concerts and everything. You know.
Oh yeah.
And whatnot.
It was a whole thing.
Yeah. And this was right smack dab in the middle of Fiesta, which is. If you come from San Antonio, downtown San Antonio and Fiesta is just a clusterfuck. That's actually going on right now as we speak, incidentally. So it's like we actually tried to go and see a concert like right in the middle of Fiesta on North St. Mary Street, like right there smack dab in the middle of downtown. Like Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center is like a hop and a skip away and shit. You know, you could probably see the Alamo Dome from where we were at and everything. But yeah, this movie works on many, many levels for us. And Robert, this was initially your choice of a movie. What's your experience with this movie, and where did you first encounter it?
Yeah, I mostly saw this movie as a young kid, and I had it on a VHS recording, really, so I would just play it over and over and over at the time. And Yeah, man, it's just one of those movies that you can just grow and fall in love with, really, too.
It really is. It's kind of, to me, kind of on the same level of a movie like The Goonies a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
It has just enough adventure, just enough of a family type story involved and everything, but it still kind of goes hard on those elements, you know? Like, it really goes hard on the espionage elements in this movie, which really, frankly, rewatching this surprised me quite a bit.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, I mean, it's actually a pretty cool little spy movie when it comes down to it. I mean, it's your classic, you know, military secrets being sold to foreign spies scenario and everything. And it's all in a Cloak and Dagger cartridge.
It's always a great time watching this movie, really.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's a great film.
You know, I wasn't sure how much of this movie was actually happening for the longest time, because we know that Davey hallucinates Jack Flack, so it was like I couldn't tell if everything else was actually really going on or not. It sounds kind of bad.
I told Bo that.
I'm kind of like his dad. I'm like, I really don't know if I believe him either, right? So it's like...
I was telling Bo that, too.
Yeah.
Because the body just disappears in the beginning.
I was like, this feels like Sidekicks with Chuck Norris just popping in and out.
Well, here's what it is. He's hallucinating Jack, but
everything else is real.
It's pretty obvious that, I mean, it's not like any type of dream scenario that he's dreaming up. I mean, he's even walking through Windsor Park Mall, like talking to, there's scenes where they show him where he's literally talking to himself, but, you know, and then next scene, you know, Jack is right next to him and everything.
Like an imaginary friend, like almost like Drop Dead Fred.
Yeah, it's kind of a little bit like Drop Dead Fred, just without the terror and the horror and the psychological... torment.
Oh my god, yeah.
I don't have a healthy relationship with
that movie.
Drop Dead Fred. No, I don't.
Yeah,
that movie is psychotic to me.
It's a mental illness. That movie.
Oh, it's a horror movie it's a psychological horror movie. That's what that movie is.
Yeah.
But anyway, I guess first off, let's go ahead and just kind of talk about the actual plot of the movie a little bit. I mean, it starts off with this kid. He is more or less just really, really into espionage. You know, I mean, that's his whole bailiwick.
Spy magazines,
like
video games.
He actually kind of knows a little bit about, you know, OPSEC a little bit and InfoSec and whatnot and all that tactical espionage shit. And he has his little friend. What was her name? Sherilyn
or Kim?
Kim. It was Kim. Yeah. She kind of goes along with it, but she's very embarrassed by it.
Yeah. She starts thinking he's a fool and shit.
Yeah. And they have a friend at Windsor Mall at a game shop, which I just want to comment about Windsor Park Mall because I think nowadays it's actually owned by a company called Rackspace, and it's this huge campus that they converted for their employees. So it's like it's pretty much a corporate center now, and you know, like they keep a food court for their employees and everything. It's kind of a thing that a lot of companies like to do with dead malls and everything. They like to kind of refurbish them into their own little corporate headquarters. But, man, I remember what Windsor Mall was like. I remember there was an Aladdin's Castle there, which was an old-school arcade chain. Man, and then this was back in, like, the late 80s and early 90s. And so they would have had games like, you know, you would have been seeing Street Fighter 2 coming out around that time. We were maybe, like, a couple of years away from Mortal Kombat, you know, and everything.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember that there was a movie theater there. I don't know if I ever saw any movies there, though. Did any of y'all ever go to Windsor Park Mall?
I never went.
Ash, how about you?
I can't recall ever going.
It's kind of closer to the south side of San Antonio, I believe.
I just went to Ingram and like north side.
Yeah. You have North Star Mall. You have Ingram Mall. There was a River City Mall. Let's see, what else is the other mall?
I went to one of the malls by
La Cantera.
I don't know.
There's La Cantera. Yeah, and there's also the mall downtown near the Riverwalk, I believe. So
is that not River Center?
So, Oh, that is River Center. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that is River Center. I think that's where the San Antonio IMAX is, actually.
Yes.
The IMAX theater.
Yep.
Been there.
That's where it is.
Yeah.
I was actually just downtown a couple weeks ago.
The Wax Museum,
Yeah,
dude.
traveling between here and there in Houston. So yeah, I'm very very familiar with downtown. I'm there at least once a month.
Yeah, and it's so crazy to see all these landmarks in this movie, which we'll get to here in a little bit. But yeah, they have their gaming friend who owns the gaming store in Windsor Mall, and he sends them on a little errand to a corporate office to pick up a game or something. I don't know what.
It's like some Twinkies with a message on it.
Oh yeah, no, he wanted some Twinkies. That's what he really wanted.
Secret message.
Morris, he wanted them Twinkies, dude.
I mean, the man wants his Twinkies, right?
The man wants his Twinkies and everything, you know? So he sends little kids to go get him his Twinkies.
I mean, might as well, right? You know, they're eager for.
Yeah. It's like send the little shits to do something useful, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, those people, they're probably getting on his nerve. He just sent them on a mission. Or
It's like, no, here's your mission: get me some Twinkies and go pick this up at this office building.
Make yourself useful.
right, get out of my hair so I can do all this decoding.
Now, what is the office building like? I mean, that is still standing in downtown San Antonio. I don't remember what the name of that building is.
It said like Light or the Express, one of the Light buildings, or
What was that? Was that the building that the San Antonio Light operated out of?
maybe.
Yeah, for those, and once again, for those not in the know, the San Antonio Light was one of the newspapers that was active. It was active. Ooh,
No, it goes back from the 60s into the 80s, maybe.
yeah,
Yeah, that's all I know. Yeah.
yeah, but it was a paper that folded in like the early to mid '90s, and now the San Antonio Express is the main newspaper in San Antonio.
Right.
But yeah, but you may be right. That may have been where the Light was operating out of at the time.
Saying right.
Yeah, but that's where this kid actually witnesses a murder, and then gets involved in this whole spy plot with these military secrets, which incidentally is a stealth bomber, which is kind of interesting, you know. And there's this. It's in this cartridge, and these dudes stole it, and they're trying to sell it to a foreign spy. So yeah, he gets involved in all of that, and shenanigans happen. Needless to say.
Which is a brilliant story, dude. And
Yeah, it's a really, really tight espionage story, to tell the truth.
it's like, I was saying, it's like war games. It's like, you know, how like Matthew Broderick finds himself in the game almost.
Yeah,
Like,
it's very much like that.
right. The kid just finds himself playing the game for real now, right?
Exactly.
Damn
yeah.
it.
And I really, really like how, you know, like I said, the character, Davey, I mean, he actually really has a little bit of a grasp of how spies work, even though it's very much, you know, something that he picked up from, you know, Cloak and Dagger and that type of media, you know. So in a way, this movie does kind of work as a love letter to the spy genre a little bit, right?
Oh, yeah. Like,
Yeah,
would be the
definitely.
second one for me.
Yeah. But anyway,
I've always liked Arnold Schwarzenegger's True Lies, too, right?
yeah, that's another good one.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, what I like about this is like we're talking a little bit about the San Antonio nostalgia there a little bit, but it also works as a video game movie, which is interesting because, of course, Ash, you are the host of Collateral Gaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What have you guys heard of, like they made an actual tie-in game to this, right?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
just
and
definitely
originally-
before the movie.
It was originally called Agent X, so that's what that's a reference to in the movie when he's like used to be called Agent X. It's because the game was called
Yeah.
Agent X, and then they decided to make it a tie-in with the movie, so they renamed it Cloak and Dagger, and there you go.
Interesting.
But it's a real game, yeah. I don't know much else about it, but I thought that was pretty cool.
We need to get a hold of it.
Honestly, we should get a hold of it and play it, and maybe do a bonus round of Collateral Gaming.
I have a retro.
Yeah.
I have a retro Atari, dude. So we just need a copy.
Well, how much is the copy, though?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, retro game prices nowadays are absolutely fucking ridiculous
They are.
right now. So, It's another one of those bubbles that'll pop. That's a whole nother conversation. But
yeah, we'll get into that some other time.
But
yeah,
that cartridge actually has like this like secret data on it. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting that they would actually put it in an Atari. This is an Atari 7200 cartridge, I believe.
Saying right?
Yeah. Which actually we do see in Morris's back office.
Yeah, that thing's classic.
Morris actually has an Atari 7200, and if you know your AVGN, James Rolfe did one of his classic episodes on the 7200, and it's just this big blocky hunk of plastic, and it's just like, did you really need all this just to run these games, especially when the Atari 2600 was just this tiny little console? I mean, Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, that thing is absolutely massive. It's pretty crazy. It's like the games, I think even for that time, I don't think were that technically impressive.
No, they weren't. And the controllers, while they were kind of revolutionary, like they were the first to have like a pause button on them and everything, and it still had that weird numeric number pad that a lot of those controllers had at that time. I don't know why the fuck they would go with that. I mean, ColecoVision had it, and Television had it. I remember a lot of those in my childhood. But yeah, and of course the power supply is this huge hunk of machinery as well, just ginormous. But it's still pretty cool to see it featured prominently in this movie.
Oh fuck yeah, dude! Thing's like an ancient relic, right? Shit.
Yeah, man, and like it's kind of cool to see the game store that Morris is operating out of Windsor Mall, like. I mean, this was, of course, before the days of, GameStop. I mean, before EB Games became GameStop and whatnot. This was probably back in the day when, Babbage's was probably like their contemporary at that time. Because I remember at least at Ingram Mall, they had a Babbage's. And that's kind of one of the OG names of like electronics boutique. And then it eventually merged with GameStop and everything. So it's kind of really, really cool. That was a little nostalgia trip seeing an old school game store like that. From back in the day. Although I remember my local Game World, like that was the first real video game store that was independent in San Antonio.
Yeah.
And man, that was back in the days when they had all the PlayStation games, Dreamcast had just come out. They still had Sega Saturn, like you can go and still play Sega Saturn games in there and everything. It was really cool to see that in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, we do feel that way too when we go to Game Over Games, right?
Oh yeah, Game Over is very much kind of similar. We'll give a little plug to Game Over here. Game Over Games in San Antonio. Oh yeah. I think they might have a store in Austin as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like that's a cool little gaming store.
Okay, yeah, it's pretty cool that it's like right there from our house too. Like,
I know, right?
Like, hell yeah.
But anyway, another little interesting thing with this movie that I have a little connection with is that the dad in this movie is a master sergeant in the Air Force, which if you know anything about San Antonio, that's Lackland Air Force Base. That's where I was born, people. I was fucking born there. And my dad was stationed there for pretty much the remainder of his career as the band. He was the band director at Lackland Air Force Base at the time. And that's where his father, Davy's father, would be stationed. So it's kind of a trip that, this movie might actually have a scene at Lackland Air Force Base. Because it kind of looks like they were at the base there.
Your dad's stationed there at the same time.
Yeah, he was stationed there. Yeah.
We have Dabney Coleman as both Jack Flack and the dad. I thought it was
and that's really cool.
I thought it was interesting that it was that his hero is like this idealized version of his father.
Yeah, well, there's a real reason for that, and that's something that I kind of pointed out to Robert when we were watching this, is that one of the underlying themes of this movie is grief and acceptance. because the whole thing with Davy and his dad is that they lost the mother. His mother is dead. His dad lost his wife.
Right.
And they're dealing with that. They're still dealing with the aftermath of that. And obviously, Jack is a manifestation of Davy's coping mechanism. That's the way that he's coping with his grief right now. And that kind of gives it an extra layer, given that, he's kind of, visioning his father as Jack.
As his hero.
Yeah.
Because his mother's dead, and
exactly.
He doesn't want to accept the fact that his mother is dead either.
But I mean, he still has some friction with his dad, of course, which is understandable in a situation like that. I mean, there's that scene in Davy's room where he straight up says, "I hate you." It's like, of course, I mean, he turns around and is like, "Come on, you don't mean that, son." And it's like, yeah, that kind of pierces a little bit, man. It's like, damn.
But just in that scene, we get like their entire dynamic. It's actually kind of nice. They fight for a little bit. Father doesn't understand the son, doesn't believe him. He says, "I hate you. You don't mean that." And then, he ends up, Davy ends up asking him if he can sleep in the bed with him by the end of the night still, So it's all very tender. It's all very, what's the word? It really hits you in the heart, like that's kind of where I started tearing up too. I was like, man, like the Bob's gone, and he mentions it to the cop, he's like, ever since his mom died, he's been like this, and
it's a real struggle. Yeah. And you feel that struggle in Dabney's and the kids' performances and everything.
You know what? At least he hallucinates an idealized version of his dad and not Chuck Norris, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. Chuck Norris. I was saying, like, well, when his dad turns into Jack Flack, that when I was a kid, I really didn't notice that. You know what I mean? I think it was probably the hair dye. They're both like two different colored hairs, right?
Well, maybe it's also just, Dabney Coleman's actual performance there. You know? Like
two different characters.
Yeah, no, he really pulled off the dual character role like perfectly.
It looked good, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like it really does.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I didn't really catch that, until I see it now,
Oh, definitely. Yeah. And I mean, he actually gives a very tender and nuanced performance, as the dad, but then he's also, really enveloped in the character of Jack Flack as well, So, I mean, he really helped sell this movie in a very unique way.
The most exciting game Davy ever played
got me.
was Cloak and Dagger. No one could believe how much he liked it.
Time to go, Jack.
Is he always like that?
Usually.
So naturally, they wouldn't believe that the game could become real.
Don't let them get it. Tell the FBI.
That the spies could be real. That the danger could be real.
This is starting to get good.
What?
Just like Cloak and Dagger.
And the only person who can help him is Jack Flack, super spy, a figment of his imagination.
Trying to kill us.
You can't kill me. You can't see me.
Top secret documents are at stake. The time is running out.
It's now or never. Come on.
The enemy is getting close.
Stop them!
Whoa, just a second there, son. Now, come on, this is Cloak and Dagger. For real, it's what you always wanted.
Please stop. I don't want to shoot you.
But I want to shoot you.
The star of E.T., Henry Thomas, and Dabney Coleman as Jack Flack in Cloak and Dagger.
He he also doesn't he kind of imply that he was his father's plaything at some point too, or the embodiment of that? I mean, obviously it wouldn't have been the actual figurine, but did the spirit possess like some toy of his dad's or something? I don't know what was going on there, because he was like it was the same way for your dad, when he stopped believing.
Yeah, I think it kind of, once again, it goes into a little bit of a drop dead Fred kind of thing.
Yeah,
where he might be like an entity that kind of, because his specific role is to be a childhood friend and to take the form of whatever the kid imagines.
Supposed to help the boy grow up.
Yeah, in this case, helping him cope with something really, really heavy.
Growing up.
Yeah.
And then, remember, like in Drop Dead Fred, as soon as she grew up, he disappeared, right? Like,
yeah.
Like, that same fucking ending almost, right? Like,
it practically is almost.
Yeah, it's like, dude, that is weird.
Except, once again, that's an absolutely horrifying movie. Oh my God, that movie is fucking terrifying. Jesus Christ.
I always thought Gordon Ramsay could be Drop Dead Fred.
Gordon Ramsay?
Yeah, just dye his hair red. It'd be awesome.
Oh my God.
I'm like, that's Drop Dead Fred right there.
I don't know if he could be that wacky.
I mean, he's funny.
I don't see Gordon Ramsay as being a wacky guy.
You could probably play it.
I see him as being an asshole.
Yeah, he's a big asshole, but it'd probably work though too.
Of course he is. He's an executive chef. All executive chefs are assholes.
It's worth about.
Sorry, y'all.
Worth about $300
Y'all are
million.
assholes. I've worked with y'all before.
No, they're like drill sergeants. I see what he does.
Oh yeah.
It's like a military thing.
I tried to get into that level of the food service industry. Nah.
They just fuck with your head over and over. So.
Yeah, it ain't worth it, y'all.
No, it isn't.
That ain't it.
Like, I'm not playing your game. You're not gonna fuck with my head. I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah, and that's what it is. Working in a kitchen, it's a fucking head game.
Yeah,
it's all head games. But anyway, enough about my previous employment.
Enough about Gordon Ramsay being Drop Dead Fred.
I know, right? But the three main villains, there's actually like 5 main villains in this movie, right? There's the 3 henchmen that actually stole the cartridge and are trying to sell it, and then there's the 2 elderly folk who turn out to be the foreign agents,
spies.
Yeah, the actual spies that they're trying to sell this information to. And I gotta say, the actual 3 henchmen, like, I don't remember their actual names throughout, but they really are really menacing characters throughout this movie. Like, I mean, they're ruthless even. I mean, they killed Morris, for fuck's sake, dude.
Morris.
They executed him and put him in a goddamn trunk. It's like, I mean, that's fucking ruthless, man. I mean, this whole thing starts with Davey witnessing a murder.
Like, how'd they get his body out of that mall? That's funny.
I know, right? How did they do that? How the hell do you? I mean, I guess if they're in the espionage game, they probably have some experience at that.
Probably a back door. I don't know.
I mean, once you've been doing skullduggery like that for a long time, I mean, you kind of know what to do. I would imagine, anyways. But I mean, yeah, these guys are really kind of scary. Like that scene on the Riverwalk, which, once again, another good landmark that is shown in this movie is our beloved Riverwalk. You know, that's where we have our Christmas parade. That's where tourists go to dine. That's pretty much where a good majority of the really good bars and restaurants are. They're pretty much located on the Riverwalk and everything. And in that scene, I mean, that's so tense, you know. You're just like, Davey's just trying to get away from these ruthless motherfuckers, and then he gets in that riverboat, and for a second there, it looks like they're not going to make it onto the boat. But then, lo and behold, someone was like, "Oh no, my wallet!" And then a couple of seats open up, and then it turns into this game of cat and mouse between Davey and the henchmen, you know, and this is where we actually meet the elderly couple who end up being the foreign spies and everything, and It's a good little red herring there, in that you think that they're going to be, you know, like probably going to actually help him out and everything, but no, it turns out, no, they're the main antagonists here.
Yeah, actually.
I mean, seriously. Yeah, I mean, that's a classic trope right there in espionage media and everything is, identifying somebody by, how many fingers they have or by some other weird feature that can be easily hidden and everything. So
what
that's
about
pretty classic.
Where does the six-fingered man from Princess Bride fit in?
I don't know.
Oh my God.
But I mean, yeah, the elderly couple, though, yeah, you think that they're going to be this sweet, nice couple who are being nice to Davy, and you think that they're going to help him and everything, but they're the ones who were after the cartridge the whole time.
Which raises some questions about their interactions with the other guys that were chasing the boy.
Yeah, well, it's not really indicated that the henchmen know who they are, because they have to go by that same identifying information as well, with the two fingers. So they don't know who their client is.
So it's interesting when the elderly couple spots Davy moving around on the boat and one of the henchmen's following him, it's at that moment they realize actually what's going on.
Yeah. No, yeah, they know exactly what's going on there. They're probably aware that, there's a kid that has their cartridge. They're probably already aware of that information.
And then they're looking for him, and they see the kid and the henchman following him. So it's kind of cool because, when you first see it, you're thinking that they're like, oh, hey, why is this man following this kid? This is weird. And they decide to step in. But in reality, that's their cue that this is the kid they're looking for.
Exactly. Yeah. And on that riverboat, they tried to straight kill Davy, man. Like, I mean, one of them causes a distraction, and that other dude just straight lunges with a switchblade and tries to stab Davy, but he's able to jump onto dry land and run off. I think he runs to another San Antonio landmark that's featured here, the Alamo.
The Alamo, man.
The fucking Alamo.
I heard that they actually had to build the interior of that because, if you've ever gone to the Alamo, you can't take photography in there or.
No, you can't. So they had, it's very similar to what happened with, Pee-wee's Big Adventure and everything, like they had to create it on a soundstage.
But that's what it looks like on the inside of the Alamo. So
yeah. I mean, yeah, if you've really been to the Alamo and you looked on the inside, it's not that difficult to replicate. It's really just one huge, it's a chapel, so it's pretty much just one huge room with a couple of chambers on the side and everything. Oh, and totally a basement. There's no basement in the Alamo.
With the 50s Schwinn at the bottom.
Yeah, that's where you'll find Pee-wee's bike.
The distinctive shape that the Alamo is known for wasn't added until modern times.
Yeah, that's another thing about it. Yeah, because it was actually restored, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
During the battle, it was fucking almost falling down.
No, I mean, yeah, it took a bunch of canyon fire, know. Oh, well, whatever. Those dudes were slavers. Mexico was right. Ooh, shots fired. Shots fired.
I don't know. They caught Santa Ana slacking though, didn't they? I mean,
no, Santa Ana caught them slacking in the end. I mean, they did overwhelm them,
I mean, but they caught Santa Ana having a siesta. I mean, homie was just like, hey, it's the middle of a war, but we got to have our sleep and make a whole thing out of it.
Raul, what's his name from the Addams Family?
Raul Julia?
Yeah, playing Santa Ana.
Oh, he plays Santa Ana?
That's
really?
a good fucking film.
Oh, we got to watch that, dude. I love me some Raul Julia, dude.
I watched that in junior high, history.
I'm a huge fan of Raul Julia, man. I was very, very devastated when he passed away.
Yeah, it was fucking...
So, I mean, I would love to see that movie.
It's pretty sudden when he died.
Yeah. But another landmark that we see in this movie is the Sunken Gardens, which is we have a Japanese Sunken Gardens in the middle of downtown San Antonio. It's closer to like Brackenridge Park, and I think around there's also the Sunken Gardens Theater there, and that's actually where I saw my first rock concert. I saw, let's see here, it was Foo Fighters, Creed, Big Wreck, Stabbing Westward, and some other band I don't remember, but. Yeah, I saw Foo Fighters. We left before Creed, though. We were just like, it's just Creed. Even back then, and this was when they were actually kind of good.
Well,
we're still like, it's just Creed. No, this was back in court is in session. Verdict is in. No appeal on the docket today. Just my own sin.
So let's
And
go.
I said, oh. That fucking shit. Yeah, that was on the radio at the time. That because Foo Fighters had just released The Color and the Shape. You know, I mean, that was, you know, they had My Hero, Everlong, you know, classic fucking album. And I saw all that live. But yeah, that brings back some fucking cool memories as well. Because Sunken Garden Theater, I mean, I think they still have concerts there from every now and again. For the longest time, they had a Bob Marley fest there that was really, really popular. So,
With arms wide open.
oh my god. But yeah, that's where they do a classic, you know, trade-off. You know, they kidnapped Kim and they want the cartridge. So they meet up at the Sunken Gardens. And I mean, if you've ever been there, it's a pretty serene place. You know, it's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, I think nowadays they call it the Japanese Tea Garden, though.
Yes. I wanted to say tea
Yeah.
gardens.
Yeah, but they it used to be called the Sunken Gardens, I believe. I may be wrong. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah. But yeah, in the end, there's that whole scene at the airport where everything finally culminates, you know, and we finally people are starting to take these kids seriously, and people are realizing like, oh, holy shit, there's actually something going on here. And it leads to this really, really tense scene where like it's total pre 9/11 airport right there, man. I mean, no TSA, like you could bring lighters and shit like that onto I think you could still smoke on planes at that time. So yeah, I mean, that was kind of a trip to see. And that would have been, you know, of course, San Antonio International Airport, which is a complete clusterfuck nowadays, if you know anything about it in modern times. To be fair, it was kind of a clusterfuck back then. But honestly, I mean, it was kind of cool to see that in this movie as well. You know?
All the little landmarks. It's always cool whenever, you know, we see something set in your hometown, you know?
And this is one of those few movies that's actually almost exclusively set in San Antonio, you know? And everything in the plot makes sense that it would happen here because, once again, there's a fucking military base. I mean, to be fair, the Air Force Base, Lackland, well, at that time, the Brooks Air Force Base would have been open. Or that was Randall. I don't remember.
Randolph.
I think it was Randolph.
Randolph.
Yeah,
High
Randolph
School.
is probably where they probably would have had secrets like that.
Shawn Michaels High School.
Yeah, exactly. Because Lackland is actually a training base. That's where all the Air Force recruits are sent to train for service and everything. So it would have been probably Randolph, and you know, of course, Fort Sam Houston is here as well. San Antonio has a very, very deep history with the military.
Yes.
And everything. You know.
Oh yeah, people pass through here all the time.
Oh yeah, seriously, man. Yeah, that's pretty much how my dad was stationed here, and then that's how he started his family with us and everything.
Nice.
Yeah, but I don't know. I guess maybe we can go and start getting into some final thoughts here, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Suppose so. Robert, since this was your movie, we'll start it off with you. What are your final thoughts on Cloak and Dagger?
Yeah, it's a fantastic movie, and I'm actually glad we got to close the season out with it, you know?
Yeah, seriously.
And, oh, man, it reminds me so much of War Games with Matthew Broderick, too, you know? Like,
yeah, it kind of has that, you know, kid stumbles onto a high-stakes espionage game and gets caught up in some serious shit and everything.
Yeah.
It has that same kind of story trajectory.
it's like it just comes to life, finds himself playing the game, and I don't know, the movie doesn't get annoying. I mean, I can watch it a few times without it getting annoying and just thinking it's a true classic, you know?
Yeah, it doesn't get too caught up in itself. You know, it's just about telling a good, straightforward spy story. It's just involving a couple of kids.
Yeah.
You know, and everything.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Video games, kids, pretty much children at heart. I don't know. It makes you feel like a kid again watching the movie,
Which is interesting because, I mean, if you really watch the kids in these movies, they're total latchkey kids, man.
Yeah.
Like that was part of that era of parenting, I guess a lot of the boomers did that sort of. They were really latchkey with their kids. I mean, these kids have fucking bus passes with Via. And everything.
Yeah, they let their kids go.
Yeah, these kids are like gallivanting all over downtown San Antonio like it's nothing. I go to downtown San Antonio, I get lost, man.
Yeah,
I get fucking lost downtown.
Me too.
It's also just not safe there now. Like it's like, you know what I mean? Like I wouldn't want to be wandering around not knowing exactly where to go, or
Yeah, I think he was even rough back in the 80s a little bit in downtown.
Yeah.
And that was when downtown was really developing and everything.
Kid snatching or snatch your kids up, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Hide your kids, hide your wife.
To be fair, that does happen in the movie.
It does. Yeah. But I mean, yeah, that's kind of emblematic of the time that it came out in, that, you could have these kids taking Via buses to downtown and then all the way to Windsor fucking Park Mall on the south side and shit. It's like, goddamn. Ash, what are your final thoughts?
Oh man, it was a lot of fun. Like you mentioned, it works on so many levels as a video game movie, as an 80s movie, as a spy movie. It's a lot of fun. And again, like I said, it really hits you in the heartstrings. Right there at the end, man. Like I wanted to fucking cry. As his dad comes around and he rescues him, and he's like, Jack Flack always escapes, and he's like, I don't need him anymore. I got you, Dad. And it's like, oh, but like just the look on his father's face as he rescues his son. It's like just that moment.
Yeah, I love that moment as well. But also the moment where Jack Flack kind of has a death scene and everything. Like, I mean, that's kind of emblematic of what Davey is going through right there. He's finally kind of realizing that, he can do this, but also that, his dad is there to help him as well, that his dad is really there for him and everything. So yeah, it's a really meaningful moment, and yeah, it really makes that final scene where his dad walks up just that much more impactful. And as for my final thoughts, once again, this movie is just like a warm blanket for me for so many reasons, mainly because of the fact it's in San Antonio, so it's like, yeah, my hometown. I've been to almost all those places in San Antonio that were featured here. I mean, it's a cute family movie. I mean, it's really about, how families actually cope with grief and everything. How families, especially when it's just, a parent and their surviving parent and their kid and everything. I mean, it's a rough situation, and at the end of the day, his dad's just trying to do the best he can and everything.
That's true.
He really is. But, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, that's what leads to that great moment, at the end where, finally, they're kind of reunited in a way, and they can finally kind of move forward as father and son, past this trauma, past their grief and everything. So, I mean, yeah, that was so fucking beautiful and everything. And it's a great fucking spy movie. Like even that first intro scene where we see Jack Flack fucking, take on that oil sheik and everything.
Oh, yeah, in the beginning.
At the beginning.
When the movie starts.
Yeah. That was really cool. And I liked how they incorporated the die in there, the dice roll.
Dungeons and Dragons dice.
Yeah, totally doing a tabletop games reference right there.
Yeah.
That's fucking cool.
I thought it was cool, that transition from that to the cardboard game.
That was really cool.
With the figurine, I was like, okay, it's just a game.
Yeah, and then it turns into a really taut and involving spy movie, almost a thriller practically. I mean, we even have murder in this fucking movie, and we even Davey fucking gets one over on the henchmen, and at the very end of the day, he has to shoot one of them, So I mean, it's a great movie. And I love the performances on this. Dabney Coleman is amazing as both the dad and Jack. And I love all the references to old tech. I mean, shit that was around when I was a kid and everything. So, yeah, this is really a fucking cool movie. Probably one of the coolest movies we've done on this podcast, as far as I'm concerned, because there's so much that personally involved there. And everything. So yeah, this movie is kind of underrated. People should really watch it a little more often. I mean, I think it's a movie that should be put on Tubi for free. Mm-hmm. People would love it on Tubi. Right now, you can pretty much stream it on like Apple TV. You got to pay for it or whatever on YouTube and everything to rent it and whatnot. But yeah, this is a movie that would really kill on something like Pluto TV or Tubi.
Yeah, just give it away for free so kids can watch it too,
Which, by the way, I heard on Tubi they have Near Dark on there.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's like, fuck yeah, man. But anyway, that is going to do it for our season finale. It's been a hell of a season, y'all. I've had a lot of fun here. I'm looking forward to next season. Like, Ash, I know you and I have our choices pretty much already locked in, practically.
Yeah. I have it written down, and I don't know. I might revisit it and see if there's anything I want to switch in there. But
me too.
Change around, yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Just see y'all's list again and then come up with mine. Yeah.
Yeah, just don't take 6 months for it, Robert.
Oh, it's all right. It'll take 7.
God damn it, Robert. Come on now.
I'll be in between movies, so I won't have time for a lot of things.
Yeah, we should be getting into production on some new films here pretty soon. So it's like, and it was awesome during this season to actually release Texas Sundown finally. To finally get that together and put that out on YouTube.
It was cool. I mean, working on that and then putting it together, I'm just glad we didn't take as long as we did, or any longer than we had to,
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus Christ, but
you can find that on our YouTube channel, as well as our Collateral Let's Play, Beat 'em Up Fridays edition. You can find that on the Collateral Cinema YouTube. And pretty soon we should be doing a Phoenix Wright playthrough here, right, Robert?
Oh yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh, yeah.
God damn it, Robert! That is so infuriating. Why do you mix up all the anime? God damn it.
Naruto and Dragon Ball Z I kind of get, because Naruto was inspired by DBZ, whatever. But Ace Attorney is its own thing. I mean, when I think of it, I don't even really think about anime so much. To me, I just think of lawyers and shit,
Yes, it's not so much an anime.
I think Sailor Moon and Yu-Gi-Oh. I don't know.
I do love Sailor Moon.
Everyone knows what I'm saying.
I think Better Call Saul, or
I think it's the hair. It's has a lot to do with the hair and the clothes, and almost looks like Prince, like in a pirate costume.
Oh, you don't even know, dude. You don't even fucking know. There are definitely cravats worn.
There you go.
Shit, so
Austin Powers cravats.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
many cravats, right, Ash?
That's right, cravats.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. But Ash, what's going on with Collateral Gaming?
Well, we just got out part 2 of our anniversary special on Fable 2. This past month, April, we were supposed to get out both of our bad games. So I think we'll try to pop those out real quick as soon as possible. Sorry, guys. I had a girl over for 2 weeks, so you know how it goes.
Oh my God.
You know how it goes.
Yeah. We just heard about it for 2 hours.
when you're having a lot of sex and
Oh my God.
You're such a girl, Ash.
God damn.
What?
God damn it, Ash. No, it's cute. You're gay for girls. It's good.
I'm gay for girls.
It's fine.
Me too. I'm gay for vagina too.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, so we should be getting out E.T. the Extraterrestrial and Plumbers Don't Wear Ties, but actually in the opposite order, probably.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yes. And then our scheduled content this month, if we get to it here, should be on the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. I'm super, super stoked for that because I've been playing through these games recently again. And yeah, man, this is just peak Ace Attorney content right there.
Yeah, I need to play through a little more of it, man.
Yeah, you need.
I'm still on the third case. I need to of the first game. I need to play through.
I don't know what's holding you up, man. I was glued to these things, like these.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe I don't know. I'll get to it.
Yeah. But yeah, there's that. At some point, we should also get out our ever postponed episode on 007 Nightfire. And then we'll be wrapping up the season with Dune. So hopefully we can get that all out by June, July. If everything goes to plan. And yeah, we'll be wrapping up the season with Collateral Gaming.
Awesome. Well, hell yeah. Well, I think the only other thing going on with Collateral Cinema is we're going to finally do our anniversary special, our Mike-versary featuring Happiness of the Katakuri. So we'll probably do that here pretty soon. And also in the postseason will be the return of Collateral Cinema Director's Cut. I have a few ideas for some episodes for that, so look for that. We might be doing some more Adult Swim content. I'm thinking of doing like season reviews of Adult Swim shows there. So yeah, look for that. And you can find Collateral Cinema and Collateral Gaming on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Blue Sky, Threads, Reddit, and TikTok. And also find us on Patreon, where you can get our commentaries for $1 and $5, and you can become patrons there. And if you just want to give us some money, hit us up on Buy Me a Coffee and just throw us $1 to $5 there. And we will have our TeePublic store up very, very soon. TeePublic hit us up. They wanted us to get a store going, and so we got it, and we're going to be sending our designs in to them here pretty soon. So look for that very soon. And we do have Spreadshirt, but Spreadshirt's not that great. And yeah, also find us on Good Pods, where you can follow us there, and you can like us and rate us and help us rise up the podcast ranks there. And find us wherever you get your podcasts: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, yada yada yada. And also hit us up on YouTube, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell there. And anything else to add, guys?
Mm-mm.
Nope. Ash?
No, I think that's it.
Well, all right. Then this season is officially a wrap. I'm Bo Maddox.
I'm Robert Ortegon.
And I'm Ashley Chancellor.
And this was Collateral Cinema Season 7. See you in October, y'all.
Jack Flack always escapes.
Absolutely. Collateral Cinema is a Collateral Media podcast. All music and movie clips are owned by the respective creators and are used for educational purposes only. Please don't sue us. We're poor.